Welcome back, guys. This is Pastor's Coffee, episode 18. It's good to see you guys once again. Stiff, how's your week been, buddy?
Been going good. A little bit of a cold hit me the other day, Wednesday, or that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. So
Been a
cold hit
long
me
week.
what? Yes, yeah.
Yep.
So I sound a little weird, but that's okay. Um, Overall, it's been a long week, but a good week.
Yeah.
We have a busy weekend coming up with doctor's appointments and just traveling for a friend's graduation from the Marine. Um, but it's going to be a long weekend too. And then we also have this Saturday night, we have practice for our program on Sunday night. So it'll be just kind of a long weekend, but
Yeah.
no youth group, so it's a little relaxed with that for all the kid programs and everything. So, but how about you?
Yeah. Kind of can echo a lot of what you said. It's just been kind of a longer week, just with different stuff going on. Pretty busy as usual. But I met with a couple people, had some good phone calls, and met with some other ministry partners. It's been nice and encouraging.
Yeah,
A little bit more so this week than others. So that's been really cool. It's just nice getting to talk with other people that's kind of in the same field as us that you don't normally talk to and kind of pick their brain and
yeah,
encourage each other. So there's been a lot of that this week for me, which has been nice. Um, as far as this weekend, we have an Easter egg hunt on Saturday for the church. So there's some stuff that I got to be involved with. And then Sunday is a little bit busier. We still have youth group in the evening. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of busier stuff. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess that's all that's really gone on. Yeah, just kind of a long week, just kind of dragging a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. And then next week will be crazy, I'm sure, as well with Easter coming up and Good Friday service. Are you having a Good Friday service or?
We are, yeah,
Yeah, so we,
yep,
we, we don't have anything Wednesday. Um, so yeah, it's kind of a crazy time of year, good time of year because most likely your biggest turnout of the year, church wise.
yeah,
So just a lot to prepare for, and luckily we're youth pastors, so we don't have
yeah,
the head pastor part. Which I
right.
mean, it's not lucky, but I mean, I would be glad to give that sermon, but there's a lot to prepare for. So.
It is, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but with that coming up, I just want to talk about a little bit with the holiday. Um, and something we don't really talk about too much. I mean, in church you do, but people come out for Easter. But this coming Sunday, we have Palm Sunday, which people viewed Jesus a lot different on Sunday than they did on the week and Friday.
yep.
So I wanted to pick your brain a little bit and just give me some thoughts that you had involving Palm Sunday. Um, is it something that you usually look forward to, even when you were younger, or was Easter just kind of the main focus for you? So,
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head with us just not talking about it enough. Um, and I think we can relate a lot to the people that we're going to talk about with Palm Sunday because it is crazy how fast public opinion can change. And I think this is one of the biggest um, examples that you could point to with this because
mhm.
obviously we know it's the story of the crucifixion and everything, but with the things that Jesus was claiming in his ministry, claiming to be the son of God, obviously the Pharisees wanted him dead. That's
Yeah,
obvious, and we knew that. So they were never on board with him. But as
yeah,
far as the public opinion of him, I mean, he was getting very popular, very, very popular. Pharisees couldn't stand him, but as far as the general public opinion, I mean, they knew friends that were
hmm,
raised from the dead and
yep,
people who had been healed and they'd experienced the feedings
hmm,
and all the miracles they had heard about him. So when he comes in, his arrival on Palm Sunday, it's very positive. I mean, they're shouting, "Hosanna! Here comes the highest!"
yep,
This is this is the Son of God, and he has a great crowd around him, and obviously the palms for him to come in on his arrival. But it's so interesting to me, and to be honest with you, I didn't think about it until the last few years. But Palm Sunday's become a lot more important to me just because it is very humbling to see how fast people can change and
hmm,
how when one thing gets said, it can be amplified and completely change an opinion. To start from where he was viewed on this Sunday, on Palm Sunday, when he comes in, to as soon as Friday when they're hanging him on a cross and shouting, "Crucify him and crucify him," and the sound is so deafening that Pilate is trying to hide because he's so scared of what they're going to do to him. I it's very sobering to think about, because I think we can be the same way. There's sometimes where our faith is really strong and we are saying, "Hosanna, here comes the Son of God." Here's the highest, and we're praising him. And then when something goes wrong or somebody says something, it can be easy to jump on the bandwagon and take the other side, or to kind of fall out of our readings or prayer or study because of circumstances going on. And I guess just my challenge before you jump in and just say anything that you have on it is, don't let that be said of us. There's so many opinions in this world, especially on what we believe and on Jesus and who he was and everything. And the truth is there. The truth is so clear. But you have to be willing to accept it. And you have to be willing to stand firm when everyone else says that you're wrong. And when everyone else is saying to crucify him and get rid of him. We don't want it in the schools. We don't want it being pushed on us. When everybody else is shouting that, we've got to be able to stand firm and stand our ground in our faith. So I think Palm Sunday is something that's definitely not talked about enough, and it's equally as important because it shows kind of the projection of our lives and in our faith and in our ministry. Because man, there's going to be some days where we're on fire for the Lord and want to serve him, and other days where we don't want to. It's that simple. So what does it mean to you? Is there anything that you've kind of gained from that?
Yeah, I mean, what you said was great, and I echo that. And I think with something personal for me, and especially is with the thought of, on Palm Sunday they were, shouting the praises, and we do that on Sunday, which is crazy. That we, for a lot of people in this world, we go to church on Sunday, we're singing the praises, we're hearing the word, and then on Monday, throughout the week, we turn to a different person. Especially exactly like they did. And so that's something that I've taken away from it the past couple of years. And then just also, maybe not on Palm Sunday, but with Peter and everything, and just the way that even someone so close to Jesus still betrayed him. Maybe not betrayed him, but didn't want to associate himself with him. And so, and I can do that as well, even with people in this, just random people I meet. Oh, I'm a youth pastor. I almost feel ashamed sometimes saying that, like, oh, and like the heat guy that came over and fixed our heater, he probably doesn't watch this, so he's cussing up a storm, just talking to me, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, you're a youth pastor. I told him I'm a youth pastor, and he's like, oh, I was cussing all that, and I didn't even, something from me, I didn't even show that I was a Christian with all of that. And so just something that we don't want to do, and Peter didn't want to not associate himself with Jesus, but he automatically did. And it's just something, our sin nature comes out, and we want to be a part of the crowd. We want to be with the people and be accepted by them. But in reality, we know that we need to associate ourselves with Jesus wherever we go. And so that's something I've been thinking about recently.
Sobering.
Yeah, and just the humility that he gives me. And then that Jesus, even on Palm Sunday, he knew what was about to happen, and he still goes along with Palm Sunday. Lets them praise him through that, even though, and then just going throughout the week, and the willingness that he had towards dying on the cross for us, and still he knew everything that he was about to go through, and still went through it. But we can talk more about that on Easter Sunday. But
talking about the betrayal, just real quick, because it's actually going to be kind of a big part of my Sunday night message, but it's amazing to me to just kind of think about that crowd. And I mean, I don't know if you have just an experience that immediately jumps to mind, but I've definitely had times in my life where I've had people say something to me and like it felt good or they complimented me or something, and then I hear later that they've said something different either behind my back or maybe even to me.
Yeah.
Definitely had some experiences where I feel the change of an opinion and it hurts when it's revolving you. So you got to think of, or you think of a celebrity that was once. It's kind of like the cancel culture, when a celebrity's kind of on top of the space and then they end up. There's a video that comes out that they said something or did something, and immediately the world's against them. And I just think about, how I've felt in moments like that where people change an opinion on you and it hurts to think about Jesus having this crowd of people shouting his praises and then those same people shouting the exact opposite within a week.
Yeah.
In 5 days. It's just it's wild, man. Betrayal is kind of the key word to Sunday to Friday. It's wild, but not just with Judas. Yeah, we always give it to Judas, but it's everybody.
Yeah. And Peter, he realized what he did and he felt the guilt and everything of that. But and he's one of the greatest disciples out there, and
absolutely,
and here we are. We do the same thing, more than 3 times. But yeah, Palm Sunday is something that is overlooked for sure, and needs to be talked about more. But Easter is very important, and we still need to talk about that. And so we'll talk about that next week, Lord willing, if we do our podcast. But yeah, anything else you wanted to say about that?
I think we'll save it for next week. We'll do it
next week. We could get into more, but I think with Easter and everything, we'll do that. So this week, we are moving on with our top 5, and we're going to keep the draft format. I think that was a great call by you.
I like it.
So this week, as we mentioned last week, we did movies last week, but something, and personally, I like a good TV show over a movie. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So this week, we're going to go to top 5 TV shows, and obviously this is going to be a draft, so you're going to get a top 10, basically. Did you have the first pick last week, or did I?
I don't remember.
I'll let you have it.
Okay, all right. That was very generous. Next week.
As long as you don't take my pick, I will be fine.
I don't think I'm taking your first. There's no way.
Good.
There's no way. Good. Okay, you ready?
You go ahead. You can start us off.
The GOAT TV show. This is what I grew up watching. I know this is even before my time, so people will call me out for my age, but this is what was on, and I've seen every episode probably 5 or 6 times. But I'm going to Born and Raised, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Wow. Yeah, that wasn't mine. That is a great show. I don't think I've watched it as much as you.
Oh man, that has been my go-to. That and my number 2, but you might have taken my number 2. I could see it because we've talked about it before. But I don't know. But okay. This one, I just if I could watch Will Smith throw out Jazz from the house and hear that scream every day, I'd be a content man. Yeah, so I need to just hear that.
Yeah, you take that. This is a show, my number 1, and there's a lot. This is honestly probably my favorite show of all time, either way. But the nostalgia of it with college, I first watched it at college. Okay. And I remember watching the first 3 seasons on a 19-inch TV, which was Jared Cornell's. Because I broke my TV. And this would be none other than Stranger Things.
Oh, man.
Stranger Things.
Yep.
Was that your second one or no?
Yep.
It was?
Yep.
Okay. Stranger Things, let me tell you, is, I think it beats any TV show ever.
I would agree it's the best show ever.
Story-wise, you can say whatever you want about Hopper in Russia. That was a little weird. But
that was.
throw that out.
Mm.
I mean, just a masterpiece. And I am super excited about season 5, the last season. I've never sat and watched 5 movies in a row.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Stranger Things, each episode's a movie.
Yeah.
And I've sat and watched the whole season in a whole day.
Yeah.
So, and Dustin, obviously, that's my dude. If he's not Dustin and Steve are
awesome.
They need their own spin-off show at this point.
Yeah, sure.
But that's my number 1. I could go on all day about that. I'll let you continue.
Man. Well, this is tough because obviously we're doing a draft thing, so I don't know what you're going to do next. But I'm just going off of impact for me and like how much I've rewatched stuff. So like how much I've enjoyed certain things. So number 2, I'm going to go Drake and Josh, which is very ironic for what's going on right now in the news. I don't know if you've seen that, but
just put that to the side.
Yeah, we won't mention that today, but that's a great show.
Dude, okay. That is a show that you can watch any day. If you're having a bad day, put on Drake and Josh and you will feel better. Dude.
Yes.
Oh. And their room, I've never wanted a room that bad.
It's the best.
Their room is insane. The way it's set up and everything.
Yep.
Anyways. I have to be strategic. That's the word. With this. Because I don't know what you're going to take. And
I don't know yet either. I'm waiting for you.
So, I think I can let one fall.
Okay.
And I think you won't take it. I'm pretty sure. But for my number 2, I'm rolling with the Nickelodeon. And I'm going with SpongeBob SquarePants.
All right. Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants is a show that is continued till today from 1999, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, whenever they sang the Super Bowl halftime show,
it's the best.
One of the best episodes there is.
Yep.
The movie, Goofy Goober Rock.
With David Hasselhoff. Yep.
Legendary movie.
Yep.
So
great.
I think just the legendary status of SpongeBob needed to be on this list, and I'm glad to take it at number 2.
There's no complaints here. Yep, that was good. Number 3. Oh man. I'm gonna go Reacher. And that's probably too high for this, but it's just kind of one of the more recent ones that I've watched.
Okay.
And with it going, I love Alan Richardson. And I
don't think I've ever watched the show, by the way.
Are you serious? You've never seen it? Yeah, Reacher.
I've never even heard of this.
Oh my goodness, dude! You have
to.
The
Reacher?
Yes, Reacher. You have to watch it. Now it does. I've watched it on a filter because there is some stuff I think on it, but the reason I started it with Jacob Tincher when we were we were playing Christendom my junior year, and he was coming down to visit, but we started it and watched like 3 or 4 episodes that night, and then I was hooked, and the second season just released a couple months ago. It's just kind of it's just on my mind right now. So, but I love like crime, detective shows.
Okay.
So it's, I would say that's up there.
Really? Yeah, I need to watch that. I don't think I've even heard of that.
That's crazy. It's on Amazon Prime.
Really?
Who's
in it?
Alan Richardson. I don't know of anything else he's been in, but he's just a big dude. Big dude, yeah. Okay. But there's talks about him being the next Batman, which would be sweet.
Okay. So, that would be cool. Yeah. Big dude.
He's huge. Yeah. You'll see. Okay.
You watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 on my list. And I think this show is one of the best. And before I even say it, disclaimer, it's okay to have celebrity crushes. Okay, Albina loved Chris Hemsworth. Okay,
Oh man, who doesn't?
I can
Yep.
admit that this show made me love this woman. Okay, I love Albina. She'll always be my wife. She's amazing. But nothing better than Madeline Klein and Outer Banks. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll just say it out there. She's a good looking woman.
Well, there's no disagreements here, buddy. Yep.
But honestly, though, the show is still like
It's great.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's got a great storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Yep.
I'm gonna stop you there.
No further comment needed. Yeah, there's no further comment needed.
I took the blame for that one.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing that. That's why it's left off my list, because that was going to be a conversation later.
See, Albina doesn't watch these, so I'm fine.
Okay, we're good then. Number 4 for me. I cannot believe you've not said it yet, but
Are you gonna take it?
The greatest Star Wars show that's ever been made. It's got to be. I was waiting for you. I was giving you the first 3 parts, but you still haven't taken it. It cannot fall past number 4, The Mandalorian.
That was my next pick.
Mandalorian has to be on there.
I thought I could leave it. I thought I could do it.
It just has to be there. It's like a crime detective show for Star Wars. Like that's my thing. That's my thing.
Yeah. I am
sorry I had to do it, but
really mad. Mando was on my list. It's scratched out now.
Has to be there.
I have to rethink this now.
Okay.
I think I might go back to Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Because I watched a lot of TV as a kid.
Yeah, same.
In a TV show that I remember actually waiting every week to watch the new one, and that's none other than iCarly. iCarly is a great show.
It was great.
I related with Freddie. His name's also Nathan. I really like that.
He was a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a great show overall. Spencer was hilarious. Yep. Gibby was hilarious.
Yeah.
So that's my number 4. And if you take my number 5, I don't think you'll take it.
I don't think I will. I'm split between 2. And I'll just take this because at the time it was my favorite show. Now it got a little rough as the seasons progressed, but I'm pretty much just basing this off of the first 2 seasons. And I'm going to go Arrow.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, I loved it. That was one of my favorites. And like Green Arrow wasn't even, it made Green Arrow cool. Like I'd never cared about that character before, but it was cool. So I'll say that. I was about to go Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I was very close to picking that one.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you didn't take my 5.
Okay.
Some honorable mentions that I thought we should throw out there. Great shows.
Okay.
I personally have not seen either of these shows.
Okay.
But they are legendary, and that would be The Office and Friends.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen so many clips of them. I've never seen them either one.
Me either, but I love the clips.
So the clips are great.
Yeah.
So number 5, and I'm basically basing this off of the last season.
Okay.
And that would be Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I had to get somewhere Star Wars up there.
Yeah.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I cried in the last season at the very end. Spoiler alert: when Ahsoka, when Darth Vader comes back and sees Ahsoka's lightsaber.
Yep.
Tears.
Tears.
And really, the last season wasn't even that good till the last 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Basically, Ahsoka with these 2 ladies that were really annoying.
Right.
But then the last 4 episodes were great. So, yeah. So that's our top 5 draft. I'm satisfied with mine, other than Mando not being on it. But
yeah, I thought I'm all right with it. If those were the only 5 I could watch forever, I'd be okay.
I would be. Well, I wouldn't be okay. I need Mando.
Yeah.
Mando's better than the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I'll just say it.
for sure.
As a whole, the Mando. I think the last 4 episodes is better than Mando, but that's just a whole different
It's a
conversation.
debate. Yeah, it's a debate. Yeah.
But Mando as a whole is better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's our top 5. We anything you like to add to that?
I don't think so. Just comment us a new one for next week because we don't have an idea yet. But
That's right. We don't have an idea. And we're not going to do books because I don't think I've read 5. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't admit that.
My goodness.
No, I've read more than 5 books in my lifetime. About 8, but that's what
About 8.
So,
my goodness.
But anyways, so thank you guys for listening this week. We'll see you next week, and please comment and let us know what you want to listen to, what we can talk about. Another top 5 draft coming up next week. We'll be talking about Easter next week, and so we hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you.
See you all.